Alright, on the 22nd, we got Anthony Andrews. On the 28th, we got Poilo Del Mar. And on the 29th, we have the Drill Billy Silas Mason. Alright, now that we're done putting ourselves over, um, it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. One interesting bit of news coming out this week is Taya Valkyrie might be making her AEW debut soon, or a return to WWE. Um, I don't really want to see Taya in AEW. They really misuse their goals there. But what say you, Scooter?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see her in AEW either, quite honestly. Um, it's she really would be misused, and I mean that's all you can say. Uh,
I mean,
does
if you go to
she?
WWE, if she's on the main roster, I could see her doing something. But if she goes back to NXT, she's gonna be misused again, right?
Oh yeah.
So where does she go?
Oh God. Maybe MLW.
Do they have a women's division?
I thought Morrison was wrestling for them.
Last time I checked, Morrison was a man.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it would it's logical to assume now that she can, she'd want to go where her husband is, and vice versa.
So if the two top companies want her, is she liable just to say, okay, this place is gonna misuse me, but the money's good?
Hmm. Would would Taya just do it for the paycheck? I don't think so. Quite honestly, you know we got only a small fraction of her Hispanic heritage, and that was a big part of her, of her character. But when she's doing promos against Ra- Raquel, who is also a fluent Spanish speaker, it's
What about what about Stardom and New Japan? I mean, they need stars to wrestle Mercedes Monet.
you know what? Yeah, she she could probably do really well in Japan.
I think if the money's really good, I think that would be the best place for her, honestly. Alright. Um Talking about Japan, Sarray is gone from NXT. Um yeah, I not surprised. I mean the last time I saw her on NXT TV, she was a schoolgirl that turned into like a superhero.
She was Sailor Moon, basically.
which is basic, which is not a great look if
I
somebody's
mean,
actually watching.
could have been worse. You could have been Sailor Uranus.
I don't think they do lesbian lesbian storylines in WWE. But that being said, do you think we'll get a Saraya tag team if she goes to AEW?
Ooh, the Anagram Academy.
Submission Sorority 2.0?
You can't spell Saraya without Sarray.
Alright. Um, WWE is looking to legalize betting on pro wrestling. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea, but what are your thoughts on it?
It is absolutely not a good idea. Mainly because the outcomes are predetermined. And all it takes is one person on the inside to spread that information, and either people win a lot or they potentially lose everything. Pro wrestling is the one sport that it should be illegal to bet on.
I mean, it is a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd sooner bet on slap fights than pro wrestling.
Did you bet on like marble races at one point?
I've taken part in many a marble race via Twitch. I've also considered hosting my own marble streams. I love stuff like that. Um, hmm.
The story I was getting was it would add to the value of WWE when they got sold. That oh, you can bet on this. It's you know, we have people betting on pro wrestling. You know, even though it's predetermined and we know who's gonna win, but you don't know who's gonna win. Somebody, a company could tell you who's gonna win, and you would win a lot of money. But again, it doesn't seem. It seems like there's more negatives than positives doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of turning a negative into a positive, Oprah Khan. Oh, I mean Tony Khan. My bad. More announcements. You get an announcement. You get an announcement. Everybody gets an announcement. The All Atlantic title will now be the international title.
Oh, good God. Like, I watched this on Dynamite. And I don't think uh I don't think a championship has ever been renamed in order to promote a movie, let alone let alone a DC movie where Shazam tells Helen Mirren's character that he's seen all the Fast and the Furious movies, which is funny because Helen Mirren is in 7, 8, 9, and Hobbs and Shaw, and the upcoming 10. Uh,
I mean, if they give you a
I
lot of money to change it, the promote a movie, I mean, yeah, of course, right?
yeah, I mean, I've always hated the name All Atlantic Championship. I mean, you either stick to that and do an All Pacific Championship, or you get you rename it something a little bit more in tune. Uh, that being said, I I've always hated. Okay, we have a world heavyweight champion. Our secondary title is the international champion. Okay, how does that make him different from the world champion? I I I despise using the international. See, intercontinental has more connotations to it because it's representative of the seven continents. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't rename it World AEW World Heavyweight Championship Part Two. Um, this also, and I hate to say this, but by renaming it the International Championship, it's automatically making it the main and secondary championship.
Because you could be champion of TNT, you can be champion of the international, or you could be champion of the world.
Uh, I mean, because the you know nobody's not gonna make the association where okay, intercontinental, so international is now the second best champion in the company. This reduces the TNT championship basically to the WCW television championship.
Which, I mean, how much TV time has the TNT Championship really gotten? I mean, how
It's
much time?
it's gotten a lot lately.
I mean, lately, but I mean, it's sort. But I mean, Orange Cassidy's been defending the All Atlantic Championship on Rampage almost every week. I mean, sure, nobody
Yeah.
watches Rampage anymore. It's basically a um, this happened in the woods type situation, but I mean, they've been giving him a lot more exposure with that title than they did Joe or Wardlow.
I mean, I'm assuming the international title is going to be the ambassador to other promotions where
Yep.
they'll have where like the All Atlantic Championship, they'll have permission to put it on the line at certain other promotions.
That was originally what it was supposed to be. And I don't think it went over, honestly, too well.
I mean, just call it the AEW Ambassador Championship.
I mean, it kind of feels like it's just a souped up European title.
Well, uh, when there was the whole WCW World Championship and the NWA World Championship uh, in '93, uh, when it went from it was it was Flair Root, I believe. Yeah, that was the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The NWA Championship at that time, because there's that gap between '92 and '94, was defaulted to WCW, so they portrayed as the NWA title before renaming it the WCW International Championship.
Okay, so
Uh,
basically just another rehash of a bad WCW idea.
um, and it would it would it would get defended every once in a while, but the plan was to unify uh, those two belts, and that happened at the in that at Clash of the Champions in uh, June of 1994, uh, when uh, when when Sensational Sherry showed up to start managing Ric Flair, uh, and of course this was also the build up to Hogan at Bash at the Beach.
Alright, well, I mean, I briefly covered what we're like talking about why this is a bad idea, but there's other things to talk about, and that is that Backlash will be in Puerto Rico, and Bad Buddy will be the host. I think this is the first time WWE's done a pay preview in Puerto Rico since New Year's Resolution 2005? 2004. No, 2005. Scooter?
Uh, yep, yep, the Puerto Rican Coliseum.
Um, what are your thoughts on them going back to Puerto Rico after nearly 20 years? I think it's a good idea. Obviously you want to be more international, but I can't help to feel like they're only doing this to raise the stakes for a higher price when they get sold.
Yeah, I would say that they I would say that's the case here. Um, I mean, we're getting multiple international premium live events.
King and Queen of the Ring and Jeddah.
Money in the Bank in London.
Yeah, possibly an Australian one soon as well.
Um, so yeah, it probably gives it a little bit more brand recognition in terms of its inherent value in other parts of the country.
How do you feel about Backlash dropping the WrestleMania?
Hallelujah!
Somebody not saying that is Johnny Gargano. It was this last week on NXT. It was announced that Johnny Takeover will be wrestling Grayson Waller at NXT Stand and Deliver, a couple miles away from WrestleMania Night 1. this is a really bad sign that it's not working with Johnny Gargano in WWE. No,
I wouldn't say that
and why would you? Why you wouldn't say that?
because Gargano, his last bit of NXT heat is with Waller. It's Waller who took him out after the promo where he said he was taking time off. So it 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 makes sense from a storyline perspective.
I mean, from a storyline perspective, yes. But if you're Johnny Gargano, you're relegated to essentially a glorified brunch pre-show when you could have been on the main show WrestleMania a couple of blocks away, and you're just an outsider looking in at this point.
I mean, it's. I mean, who? I mean, who knows at this point?
Well, we'll get into the match, the whole match when we do the preview. But it was a highly controversial subject that MJF spilled a drink on a child.
Yep.
There's okay. There's one thing being a heel, but in that context, in that video, when do we stop saying that he's not being a heel and just being an asshole?
At at first, I actually thought that kid was in a wheelchair.
Which,
Um,
which will make things even worse.
I don't know what would convince MJF that that was a good decision.
My biggest issue with it was that the mother and the son, they wasn't, trolling him or yelling at him or saying, boo, you suck. They were just watching. They were really just minding their own business. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. And that's my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And, do it. I mean, you can do whatever you want to the other wrestlers. It's an it's in a work environment. It's bad. Yada yada. But when you do something to a fan, you really have to be careful about what you're going to say and do because we are in a world where lawyers are a thing, and you can get sued for any little thing you say or do nowadays. And it did seem like Tony Khan, for the first time in his life, seemed very aware of that. No, Scooter?
yep. I mean, the question is MJF taking it a little too far on purpose?
Are you saying he wants to get fired?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wants the bidding war 24 to actually happen.
Well, if you see something like that in AEW, does that make you devalue him in WWE? Say, well, this guy's a loose cannon, we can't trust him.
I think only if he debuts in a Cody match.
You know, everybody's saying, MJF could go to WWE and do great there. I don't think MJF would do great in WWE. I think he would get eaten alive in WWE. But that's just my opinion on the matter. Alright, um, Paul Heyman did an interview where he said that his relationship with Roman Reigns is spiritually or orgasmic.
All right, next.
Don't you feel like you only feel that way during, a Bengal Bros match?
Ah, stupid, sexy Heyman.
Yep, I think we should leave it there. Alright,
Uh,
um,
he,
yes, Scooter.
uh, which one? What was I going to say? In probably was the most unexpected uh, names to be announced for the Hall of Fame was announced on SmackDown last night, and it's Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame?
Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's going to be really awkward when Dominic has to induct him.
Well, clearly Dominic's not going to induct him, but it's going to bring heat, and I think this is the first time we're actually going to see the Hall of Fame used as a catalyst agreeing for Ray agreeing to fight Dominic.
I feel like they would have to have that match already down at Mania before before the Hall of Fame, and then
Well,
obviously do an angle at the show, at the Hall of Fame itself.
I mean, again, because Dominic's trying to get him to challenge him. And when it's not working, what what better way than to rain on his parade, so to speak? Uh, when the ex-condom shows up at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Okay, I do get that, but WWE, for the most part, haven't done angles at the Hall of Fame.
I know.
Usually they say, okay, well, they keep a low kayfabe. They said, okay, I'll kick this guy's ass tomorrow, but we're here for something else different tonight.
Well, I mean, this I think this is kind of one of the reasons they're doing the Hall of Fame after SmackDown.
Could Rey Mysterio be the first person to wrestle on that SmackDown and be inducted into the Hall of Fame the same night?
Yes, and I think he is technically the first person to be a member of the active roster uh, and get inducted.
So basically, what you're saying is nobody else was available to be inducted.
Well, I mean, when it comes to California superstars, Rey Mysterio is not a bad pick at all.
That's true.
Um, who else? Finley is rumored to be going in.
I know, what his name, Muda is.
Um, there, rumor has it that Bully Ray is lobbying for Spike Dudley
Oh, that's awesome.
to get in. I mean, if Coco Beware can get in, Spike Dudley can get in.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that.
And again, while we're at it, let's get Demolition in there.
Yeah, it's
Hell,
been a hot minute.
let's get Earthquake in there.
Oh my god, yeah, Earthquake's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Nope. Oh, and the other name who I could almost guarantee is going in, and that's William Regal.
Ooh, how could they? Could they? I mean, that would be a real slap in AEW's face.
I mean, he's not. If he was getting into the Cauliflower Alley Hall of Fame, that wouldn't be any different. He's not getting. It's not a violation of a no compete clause.
I'd say Tony Khan would dispute that, but
Uh, but yeah, that's all the Hall of Fame news. But uh, one more. Looks like the WWE may have maybe going to court once more over it, trademark infringement.
that's right.
Uh,
Indie Wrestler.
yep, WWE has received 2 cease and desist letters over WWE United States Champion Austin Theory. Theory bills himself as The Now, but this is also the name that New York indie veterans Vic Delicious and Hale Collins have used for their tag team going back more than 15 years. I don't know what part of New York they're from, but I've never heard of them. They're still active and have been seen on NWA programming in recent months. They're upstate, so they're not real New Yorkers. Uh, Delicious and Collins were surprised to see Theory using The Now on a recent WWE Raw episode. They say they've had the name trademarked since 2006 and are now trying to get WWE to stop using their intellectual property. They got a lawyer they described as awesome, a lawyer named Mike Dawkins, who is apparently known as the gimmick attorney.
They should have got Mark Sterling.
Not smart enough.
Well, we know WWE is going to be using Joseph Park.
One of the 2 cease and desist letters was acknowledged. The second one kind of fell to the wayside. The next step, they say, is a lawsuit for trademark infringement and created confusion in the marketplace.
Okay.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's those two guys against John Cena at WrestleMania. Yay! I'm confused. I wasn't sure which now was competing against John Cena. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
This is like a friend of the show, Logan, what is
Reef?
his name?
No.
Logan, uh,
LaRue? No.
no, Logan,
Paul?
no, the guy we interviewed, uh, Logan Black. Logan Black.
Yeah.
If Logan Black sued Cody for using the American Nightmare because he had the American Nightmare name before him. That's kind of, yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
I mean, if this lawsuit actually gets anywhere beyond, if this actually gets into a courtroom, which it won't, I mean, the WWE will pay in 5 figures. Maybe 6. I see them settling and giving the guys $100,000. I mean, but let's face it.
They're not going to WWE anytime soon.
Yeah, let's face it. They're chasing clout.
I mean, if they do have the trademark and it's a trademark in the same, work environment, then, I mean, they do have the right to say, hey, this is our trademark, don't use it. They're not wrong there. But to think that you're going to go up against the machine that is WWE is kind of insane. I don't know. Maybe they won't settle on a figure deal, but a couple of contracts.
I doubt it, considering they've been competing for 15 years.
Anything's possible in pro wrestling. All right, I believe that should conclude the news for now. However,
Yes.
let's word from our sponsors.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.